that new whip. Hey, who get a do trip?
And we're live.
Welcome to BETT Records, where we talk about hot topics, ideas, and all the shit you really want to hear.
Welcome to BETT Records. We got some stuff going on. Big fight podcast that we're going to be doing today. Quick before that, though, looking back at yesterday was when everybody would be hearing this. Did you guys... Obviously, we watched it a little bit, but what do you guys think about the whole Island Boys Jake Paul thing that we just witnessed?
Or you mean Logan Paul?
Or Logan Paul, yeah. Sorry, not Jake Paul. We're getting into that too. But
yeah, do you think it was so basically they walked off the set 'cause they got into an disagreement with Georgienko.
Yeah.
Do you think that it was a pre-planned thing for clout by either side? Do you think they just kind of kept going with it?
I think if anything, they're gonna lose clout.
Yeah, honestly, I think it was just a bad idea.
By Logan Paul, like, dude, you don't go on Logan Paul's episode and make a scene.
Yeah, just walk off.
But then again, dude, I kind of see what they're saying. Like, I get how that could have been misinterpreted, and George didn't really like pull off the gas either. He was just kind of like, "What are you gonna do about it?" kind of a deal. Which, on his stance, what are they gonna do about it? You know?
I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah. I don't know. I think it was just an idea. And I think he explained that it was not meant to be, like a putting down comment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a cocky comment. It was like, you could do this.
Yeah, I don't know. I see it. It was definitely interesting. Let us know what you guys think. But yeah, just want to touch on that quick. Jake Paul, your star boy.
My lock screen.
Your lock screen.
Oh my god.
Your my eyes only fans pictures.
There you go. Jake Paul v. Not Tommy Fumbles, huh, Justin? What happened?
I'll tell you what, Tommy Fumbles he just showed the type of man. I shouldn't even say man, boy he is. You're gonna run your mouth and you're gonna pull out. It's really disappointing because this second, now that's a rematch with Tyron Woodley, I'm not as excited for this because of how on short notice it is. There's no promos for it.
Right. Because
they didn't have time to do it. Like, if you asked me tomorrow, hey, is there a big fight on Saturday? I would stutter for a second and be like, oh yeah, but like as opposed to when the first Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight happened, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's happening on Saturday. It's just as soon as a fight becomes short notice, the hype just immediately drops. And Tommy Fury really fumbled this one. He needs to change his last name now.
Yeah, he fumbled the bag hard.
And, like, listen, I'm no Jake Paul fan, but I'm going to be real with you. Jake probably would have kicked the living shit out of him.
Yeah, I think that would have been a pretty easy fight, honestly. I think this is better, to be honest, because I really didn't see Tommy taking any kind of dub over Jake, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I knew Jake was just going to kick the living shit out of him from bell to bell. If it's one thing that... So, I am kind of a Jake Paul hater, but I will say this. He did prove something to me in the first Tyron Woodley fight, going the distance. He proved to me that he does know what he's doing in there.
Yeah.
As opposed to when he was fighting Ben Askren, like this retired MMA fighter with a bad hip who was primarily a wrestler and a retired NBA washed-up veteran. Like, at that point, you're just like, how are you even good? Fighting Tyron Woodley and actually, like, going the full distance.
Yeah. And
winning on the cards. It showed me that he's not just talking. Like, he knows what he's doing. And I think we're in for another good fight on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think so as well. Jake Paul did defeat
I shouldn't say
him.
fight. I'd say boxing match.
Yeah, it's a match. Sure. It's still a fight.
It's an event.
No,
when is this?
Fight.
This is this Saturday.
This Saturday? Oh yeah, like you're saying, holy
Saturday,
shit,
the 18th.
Dude.
So yeah,
I had no idea. I had no idea when this fight was.
Yeah,
I had no idea from the start.
I felt that even leading up to the Tommy Fury and Jake Paul fight before Fury backed out, it wasn't even nearly as hyped up as it could have been, and as they or I should just say Jake has in the past as well, because
Tommy Fury's a nobody. He just
Fury
has the name from his half brother Tyson.
That could be true as well, but I know all of their press conferences weren't even face-to-face either. There was always something going on where Fury didn't want to travel or vice versa.
He claimed to have a family emergency, which
Right.
from personal experience, I completely understand that.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm just like, why are you still doing the press conference? I thought you said you had a family emergency.
Yeah,
Right.
you should just not do it at all.
Yeah, and if he didn't do it, then okay, I completely understand a family emergency. But he's still doing it. It just makes me kind of scratch my head. I'm like, how urgent is this?
Yeah.
Right. Because he backed out due to a bacterial infection in his chest and a broken rib. So he backed out 2 weeks before the fight.
What?
Yes. Because have you seen some of the videos on fucking his brother and shit and
I
all
saw.
that?
Does
I
Tyson
saw on
give him
Tommy's
shit?
Instagram the video of him explaining what happened. And he said basically he wasn't feeling himself in training camp, all this and that, and finally he was hospitalized for all this stuff. He was fighting through bacterial infections, which I don't know because I'm not him. At the same time,
Right.
if you're fighting in the main event of a fight, you want to be 100%, and if you're just showing up at 50%, at that point, I mean, some people can fake it till they make it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like at that point, you should have backed out earlier.
But also, if you're going from like a UFC perspective almost, Aljamain Sterling, I mean, you give him shit every time anybody even mentions his name, but his excuse is he's always hurt and this and that. Do you see it as I personally see it as when you're going up in a main card bout and you're having this main event fight, if you have the real championship spirit or competitive drive, that you should be able to fight through whatever you're doing. I mean, I know tons of people who play football, basketball, and they go through broken hands, broken ankles. I think I saw was it Dalvin Cook just played with like a fucked up shoulder or a
Right, yeah.
chest
Good point. Yeah.
injury or something. They said it was still fucked up, but he played anyways, and he ran for over 200 yards.
Yeah, he got an
Right.
insane game.
So I think it's at a certain point, especially with stuff like that, I think you just gotta not be a pussy.
I
Well,
think
there's
the biggest thing is his family name is giving him the pressure. I don't know if that's what you're going to say or not, but even his family has mentioned, like, if you don't come away with this, you're definitely changing your last name, and we're not, like, taking you back, basically. Like, we're disowning you, like, low-key.
Well, the thing you have to understand about the fight game is when you're leading up to a fight, you're going through, like with the UFC, I was actually watching a Dana White interview from last week. He was talking because there was a death in a bare knuckle fighting. And so Dana was basically explaining how their fighter safety comes first before anything.
Yeah.
Leading up to a fight, when you sign for a fight, until you sign your or from when you sign your name on the dotted line to when the referee says okay fight, you are going through physicals every single week. The doctors are always checking because they're looking, okay, is this person physically able to fight?
Yeah.
Are they going to have any underlying conditions? Because there's some things you cannot, because the thing is about the NFL, you can just walk on the field, this and that. With combat sports, it's sanctioned by the state government.
Yeah.
The athletic commission is a part of the government, and if you are not physically fit to fight, they will not sanction you. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
it was like there was a rare case, UFC Hall of Famer Michael Bisping. He has a glass eye, actually. I think it's his right eye that he got after a knockout from Vitor Belfort. And he claims throughout the entire second half of his career, when he came in on short notice and beat Luke Rockhold on 2 weeks' notice to become the UFC middleweight champion, he claims throughout every single fight that he fooled the commission. I don't believe that for a second. You're fighting with one eye. The commission would absolutely pick up on that.
Yeah.
If
you would
he,
think
That's
so.
literally their job to pick up on
if the
that.
commission knew that he was blind in one eye, they would have never sanctioned him to fight.
Right.
I don't know what it is. If something is not right with you, no state athletic commission will sanction you to fight and will approve you to fight because they are
Makes sense.
evaluating you. They're watching your sparring footage, this and that. I was even watching the past week. I've been watching the beef between Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya. They were talking about the Chuck Liddell Tito Ortiz trilogy that Golden Boy Promotions put on. And they put 49-year-old Chuck Liddell against 43-year-old Tito Ortiz after Chuck Liddell getting knocked out in 5 of his last 6 fights viciously.
Jeez.
And then on a like a 10-year of non-fighting, and Dana just keeps saying, he's like, how did the California State Athletic Commission even sanction this fight? Did they even watch any of his sparring footage?
Yeah.
Because a video of him emerged, of him hitting the pads. All the comments were like, why is he fighting? He's going to get hurt. He gets knocked out in the first round, and the entire first round, you could see he's throwing, like, senior citizen punches. It was so sad to watch, especially a legend like Chuck Liddell.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what happens, sports like that,
Fucking
you can only
Oscar
go so
De La
long.
Hoya. He's like coming out, it makes me sick what these fighters made, and I'm gonna pay them a lot. Out of 14 fights on the card, 5 of them were amateur bouts. They didn't get paid jack shit. 12 of the professional fighters got paid less than 3 and 3. And some of the guys on the card made 1,000 and 1,000.
Jeez.
You're saying that Dana White doesn't pay his fighters? Are you kidding me? The last time Chuck Liddell made less than $250,000 in the UFC was back in 2005.
Damn.
And he still, in his last fights, made like 8 times more than what Oscar paid him to fight.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's just like complete disregard for a fighter's safety. And Dana said it best. You know who tells you when it's time to hang up the gloves and retire? Your friend. Anybody who was a friend of Chuck Liddell and let him fight against Tito Ortiz in that trilogy is not a friend of Chuck Liddell's. They just sent him out there, and he got battered and embarrassed.
Yep.
Damn. Next question, going back to the Jake Paul fight. Getting into some betting props here. Looking on Prize Picks right now, over or under for fight time, 23.75 minutes.
It'll go the distance.
You think so? Okay.
I think it'll go the distance.
To break it down, 8 rounds should be 3 minutes each, according to that. Basically, they're either going 24 rounds or the under in this case. You think they're going over again?
I think they're going to go to the full distance.
Josh?
I don't care at all. I'm out on this.
I think it'll go the full distance as well again.
I think so.
I think I've made my point in the last couple boxing things that you try to involve me in. I do not care about boxing, like, at all.
What do you think about punches landed, Justin?
Damn.
Sorry.
It's tough to say, in all honesty.
I know. I don't know what the average is. Jake Paul currently is at 67 punches. Tyron Woodley is at 54 punches.
Tyron Woodley should be way lower, if you ask me.
Lower even.
Yeah, because after watching Tyron
For
Woodley...
8 rounds?
I shouldn't even say after the Usman fight where he lost the title. If you watched all of his MMA bouts after he won the championship, the guy's just too gun-shy.
That's fair.
He just sits there. He's too patient. There's a difference between being perfectly patient and being way too patient.
Yeah.
It really showed in the Damian Maia fight at UFC 214 where Tyron Woodley and Damian Maia broke the UFC record for the least amount of punches thrown in a 5-round UFC bout, and they beat it by like 80 or 90.
Damn.
In total, they threw
That's a
like
lot.
60. And even after the fight, they asked Dana at the press conference. He was just like, "Oh, Woodley's fight wasn't really entertaining." He's like, "Which fight?" And he's like, "The Woodley fight." He's like, "What'd you think about watching the Woodley fight?" And he basically said, "Yeah, I was talking with Tyron after the fight, and he said, hey, I stuffed all these takedowns, and a win is a win. But it's easy to say a win is a win, but when you get booed out of the arena, it's because people don't want to watch you fight.
Yeah.
Damn.
Ask fans if they want to see Tyron Woodley fight after that Damian Maia performance. Of course, he came back in his next one and beat the brakes off Darren Till and defended the title, and Dana didn't even show up to the post-fight press conference afterwards.
Damn, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah,
funny.
but I just... In the boxing fight, the first Jake Paul fight, I even said to you, Trenton, if they were scoring it the way that they score MMA fights, Woodley would have won every single round.
Sure.
The thing that they don't take into account in boxing is who's pushing forward, who's the
Right.
person who's backing up the entire time, who's the person engaging all the contact. In that case, Tyron Woodley was doing it the entire time.
Right, especially the later rounds. I definitely agree with that. Do you think at the same time maybe Woodley's strategy, because you kind of talked about in UFC, is maybe his strategy is kind of to wait and play that defense, kind of like chess. I'm going to see you make your move, then I'll make mine, and kind of catch you when you fall, kind of thing. Or do you think that's not his strategy overall?
Boxing is checkers. MMA is chess.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't really see how this fight's going to be much different. I think it's just...
I do think Jake Paul's going to win.
Unless if Tyron doesn't get paid off not to knock him out again.
No, there's a $500,000 knockout clause if Tyron Woodley
There's
does
no way he's
knock
knocking
out
him out, bro.
Jake Paul. Yeah, I don't think so either.
You got to remember, Woodley does have power. Did you see the right hand that knocked out Josh Koscheck?
There's probably a silent clause in there that says if you don't knock him out, you get like $2 million.
No.
My favorite response to their first fight was Dylan Dennis, the guy who Jake Paul threw toilet paper at.
Yep.
He immediately posted afterwards the picture of Jake Paul like getting knocked down into the ropes, falling through, and he just captions it, "I'd put your head through those ropes and dance on it." I'm like, dude, you haven't fought in 3 fucking years, and you're a jiu-jitsu guy. Jake would rip your fucking spine out. You're a jiu-jitsu specialist, and you got choked out by a bouncer at the bar a couple months ago while you were getting arrested. You call yourself such a good jiu-jitsu practitioner, and you let a bouncer do that to you.
Hey, maybe the bouncer was, maybe had a longer reach or something, huh?
I don't know.
But speaking of more fighting, wild UFC card this past weekend. We posted our picks for the last card. Justin, how did we do on those picks? I know the couple top rounds didn't go so well, but
on the main card, I went 1 for 5. So
Yep.
I got the O'Malley fight right.
Yep.
Yeah, you actually thought O'Malley was going to win?
You gotta take O'Malley.
Dude, O'Malley all day,
was gonna
bro.
win.
You gotta take him.
I
though.
just thought you were never a fan of him. So
Listen,
I, thought you
I
were
do
gonna
not
answer
like
him.
Sean O'Malley at all, but damn, that guy knows how to fucking
Yeah,
He's
he's
good,
a
dude. I
beast,
love him.
dude.
I love Sugar Sean.
He's a really good. He's a really good boxer. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fast. He's clean. He has power. He has power that a 135er really.
He's got good IQ,
shouldn't
too.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
And
Sugar
then
Sean.
the one afterwards, I picked Cody Garbrandt to beat Kai Kara France.
I honestly thought
And-
Garbrandt was going to win, too, honestly.
And
Yeah, surprising
I see
there.
why. So his name is Cody No Love Garbrandt. I see why people call him Cody No Chin. His chin is
Yeah,
deteriorated.
he got
He's-
destroyed.
He did
He's
get pretty
1-5 in his last 6. He was undefeated when he won the title against Dominic Cruz, and then he lost 2 in a row to TJ Dillashaw, both by knockout. And then came back from that, was knocked out by Pedro Munoz in a fight of the night at UFC 235. He came back and he staged a knockout of the year candidate in 2020 against Rafael Assunção, and everyone was saying Cody No Love is back, but then I think it was in June or late May, he fought Rob Font and just got outclassed, and he decided to drop down to flyweight. I was a little concerned because the only other bantamweight to drop down to flyweight from bantamweight was TJ Dillashaw, and we saw what happened there. The weight cut got to TJ, and he lost the title against Henry Cejudo. And then this happens. He gets knocked out clean by a flyweight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what is next for Cody, but he's at a fork in the road right now.
Sean is next for him. Weren't they the ones beefing at the press conference?
Yeah, they were, but I don't know if Cody's gonna stay at flyweight or go back up to bantamweight.
I don't think he's going to go for Sugar Sean. He'll mop the floor with him.
Yeah, Cody has no chin anymore.
Yeah.
And then the next fight
True.
was Jeff Neal versus Santiago.
That was a good fight.
That was a
I
really good
picked
fight.
Santiago to win. It was it went to decision.
Yeah,
It was
split decision,
really
right?
close.
I didn't agree with that 30-27, that one judge. I thought for sure Santiago won. Was it the first round I said? Or the second round? It was one of the two.
It was the first round.
I thought for sure he won, but I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, that was really close. It really could have gone either way. And then
Yeah.
wow. I'm not the only person who got this pick wrong.
Yep.
Julianna Pena, the biggest
Oh,
upset in mixed martial arts, in combat sports, history.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that was big.
Dethroning the Lioness, Amanda Nunes, who was 19 days shy of being champion for 2,000 days. She won the title at UFC 200 in June of 2016.
It's crazy.
And
Yeah, man.
Julianna Pena, she walked the walk and she talked the talk. She said exactly what she was going to do throughout every single interview, confident, talking trash to Amanda Nunes. Who talks shit to Amanda Nunes? In that press conference, everyone was like, oh, she's going to regret talking this. She talked the talk, did what she says she was going to do, and she won. You remember, I was looking over at Josh right as it happened. We were in... Like, we both had to slap each other, like, is this reality?
Have you seen some of the fan
was
reactions
crazy.
of
It was
people,
surprising.
like, basically, same thing, just obviously shocked, but even the fans in the crowd, I mean, they were...
Q-tip,
there's
you
been
just,
a bunch
you
of
just
videos
asked
of that.
what was so surprising about it.
Wait, no. It was
Amanda
surprising.
Nunes was a minus
she's a massive
1,100
favorite,
favorite to Julianna Pena, 1,650.
Yeah.
There was
a big better.
somebody before the fight started put 30 grand on Amanda Nunes.
300
grand to win 30. I heard about that.
Yeah.
To win 30 grand, they lost all their 30.
That's such a shitty. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's not
if-
even worth it.
It's not even worth it because
Well, I mean,
you have to
you
win $1. You have to bet $1,000.
I mean, yeah, but like, you know, if you're pretty sure your fighter is gonna win, you know, like
I think all of us were pretty sure that Amanda
I mean,
Nunes was
but
gonna win.
only putting 320 grand down for only a 30 grand return. That's I don't know, man.
It's kind of
So they're
silly,
worth
but
it.
I think it
Somebody's
makes sense. you know?
somebody's needs to talk to their financial advisor.
Yeah,
or
well,
something.
that's obviously
No, so I
bad
said this to
choice.
Josh right away after the fight was over. I was like, "Do you remember that person who bet 300 grand?"
Oh, bro.
And this joke may be offensive to some people, but I honestly think it's a reality. That person probably put a gun in their mouth.
320
I think they
grand,
probably
that's
knew
a
what
lot
they
of
were
money,
They
doing.
bet
man.
If you're putting 300,000
$300,000
unless you're really
to
like,
win
crazy,
nothing,
I
and
think
they came up
probably have that
empty-handed and
pocket
lost.
That's a pretty big loss, dude.
It's a big loss, but that's probably pocket
That's a
money
tax
for
write-off.
person
Unless
who's
if they're a
making
billionaire
decisions.
and they just do not give a
That's
shit.
probably what it is, I bet, more likely. If you're throwing 300 grand around, you probably know what you're doing. You know, you probably know that you're just fucking around if you really lose.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I want to
As
say too, no credit to Julianna, obviously. But did you guys feel like that Nunes was a little cocky the way she was fighting that night? Because it seemed like she was really trying to go for a swing.
I mean,
you know,
if
and she
you-
really left herself open because of that. it
Yeah.
feels
I
like
mean,
to
if
me.
you've been champion for 5+ years,
Yeah.
no one's even come close to showing any adversary towards you. I think I'd be a little cocky.
I
Yeah.
suppose too, but her advantage is going to be the ground game, right? So why wouldn't she play for that?
Whose?
You know what I mean? For Nunes.
Nunes' advantage was not the ground game.
No,
it
it
was
wasn't?
striking.
Her
That was
striking.
Juliana's ground.
Just striking?
That was
Okay, yeah.
Juliana's skill
Nunes
going
has
in.
always just been able to like. She
Oh
looks,
yeah, that's what I.
She
that's
looks
what
like
I,
she just puts these girls in the pavement,
Okay.
bro.
See what she did to Holly Holm.
Oh,
See what
yeah,
she did
dude.
to when she went up and took out Chris Cyborg. No one's ever done that to Chris Cyborg. Like, Amanda Nunes is scary, but
She didn't
Joe
look that
Rogan
good,
even
honestly.
said it afterwards. He said, if you saw in the second, if after the first round, I would be like, okay, this is where this is where it's gonna end. This is the beginning of the end for Juliana.
Yeah.
And then Juliana stood with her, landed some shots, and Joe was just like, there's a look of concern in Amanda's eyes that
Oh,
we
yeah.
have never seen from her.
Yep.
And even in that, I was like, okay, like, it's still Amanda Nunes. Like, I don't see Juliana knocking her out. But then, all of a sudden, she, like, it was like kind of that dirty boxing, just throw, don't defend,
Yeah.
just like
yeah.
pray and hope. And then all of a sudden, they get up against the fence. Juliana judo throws her to the ground. And I'm not going to lie, that rear naked choke, she made that look really easy.
Well, and Amanda
There's, like,
Nunes
no
didn't really.
defense to it.
She also didn't really like try. I don't know if she was just gassed or what.
She was absolutely gassed. That's her
Because she didn't
biggest
try to.
weakness
She didn't
is
try
her
to
cardio.
defend it.
Amanda Nunes' biggest weakness has always been her cardio. It showed against Jermaine Durandamy when she really started to slow down after some grappling with her, and then in the Felicia Spencer, she started to die down in the later rounds. And that's one of Juliana's points as to why she could have beaten her, is because She claimed to be durable. She could take a punch. She could give a punch, and she knew if it went to the later round, she could just drown her. But nobody saw it happening in the second round.
Yeah, that was a lot earlier than I thought.
That was a
Yeah,
wild fight.
like if I gave Julianna Pena a chance, I never said okay, Amanda's gonna win, like absolutely no doubt. I did give Julianna a strong chance to win, but the only way I saw it happening was in the late rounds after wearing her out. That was really impressive. Second round, there's definitely going to be a rematch.
Oh yeah, probably her next fight.
Will be a really good one too.
Absolutely.
It'll be a really good fight.
But now the biggest question is, they're going to go into that rematch, and Amanda Nunes is probably going to be the favorite there again. What happens if Julianna beats her again?
Yeah,
is
it's
that
over.
it for Amanda Nunes?
Well, she's still the
She's still the featherweight champion,
Yeah.
but you know the featherweight division doesn't have rankings.
Someone could still fight her for it though, right?
Yeah, someone can, but like there's no featherweight rankings.
Division, whatever.
Right.
Like you can just say, okay, I want to fight at featherweight this time. There's no rankings. Whoever says they want to fight at featherweight for the title, and they get it.
If she does lose again, she's really gonna have to hit the camp and step up her game, obviously.
Yeah. Another big concern for me is people were saying after Julianna Pena, there's like, okay, who's next? Maybe a trilogy with Valentina Shevchenko. After this loss, I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. Because now that Nunes just lost, Valentina, she probably still was. I wouldn't say never. Valentina's the boogie woman of women's
the
MMA.
boogie woman.
Yeah, the boogie woman.
That was very PC of you.
The boogie woman. Now that's what Joanna Jędrzejczyk used to call herself before she got knocked out by Rose at Madison Square Garden at 217. She's like, boogie woman is coming tomorrow. Left hook knocked out. Rematch loses.
That was less PC of you.
It bounces out. It bounces out.
But moving on, the main event. We had Charles DuBronx Oliveira versus Louisiana Swamp Trash Ultimate Feelings champion Dustin Poirier.
Oh my god. What an intro that was.
Jesus.
That was a pretty good fight, honestly. I mean,
Q-tip, keep going, then I'll say my piece.
I thought it was good. I definitely thought I really didn't know who was gonna win at first, but once you saw how it was going, you could see with Oliveira's movement that he was probably gonna take it.
Oliveira low-key cheated.
That's what I was gonna say.
Why?
Yeah, really.
In the
Did you see
second
that?
round, Poirier was piecing him up.
Yeah, he was knocking him around.
Yeah, but then Charles was on his backs and he was kind of going for an arm bar on Poirier while Poirier was standing. Poirier was trying to get away, and I could clearly see Oliveira hooked his fingers inside the glove of Poirier, keeping him from escaping. And then he was able to get Poirier down and ride him out for the rest of the round. My question was, how did nobody pick up on... Well, the announcers said it, but afterwards there was no real question about it. Like,
No, I haven't heard it at
I was
all.
walking, I was like, did anybody else see this?
No, I haven't even heard anything post-fight. Have you even seen anything about it? I'm sure if it was like a Jake Paul fight, it would be everywhere.
I saw one or two acknowledgments of it, but nothing big.
Yeah.
It was clear as day. Hooked inside the glove. When that happens, you can't escape because he has a grip. That's the ref's job right there to break that up and say, okay, stop. If you do that again, I'm taking a point away.
Yep.
Fight on.
You get DQ'd if you do shit like that.
That won't get you DQ'd.
Maybe because your hands could slip technically in the other, opponent's glove. Basically, I don't know.
No, because it holds you down.
It's pretty tough to get your fingers behind those gloves. Like, it's not something where it's just like, oop, my fingers got hooked behind your glove, like
behind your waistband, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty tough, dude. But a good fight. I mean, especially when he got on the back. I mean, he did his signature move, that rear naked choke. I mean, holy shit, dude. He just jumps on his back, and then it's like, what do you do at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big motherfucker on your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's at least 200 pounds. Not only that, but you're getting choked out, but you're also carrying 200 pounds on your own legs.
So
it's a lot of
I have a mixed martial arts glove here with me, so I have it strapped on right now. Now, Josh, try and hook your fingers in here. Hook your fingers.
Oh,
Get him deep in
That
there.
is tough, huh?
Oh, it was like.
Now,
deep,
see, I'm trying to pull away.
Well, you're right.
I physically cannot get away.
Are you sure?
Obviously, I'm in a chair, so
Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm
you're
just
yanking, and he's on the ground,
But
so I'm
you
pulling.
see, I mean,
Yeah.
if I just like go like this, I'm not getting hooked. Even if I go like this, it's hard to get. Like I really gotta like dig those some bitches.
Sure.
In there.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
And he was going for an arm bar, so he was really digging in there,
Yeah.
too.
Interesting.
It's tough to say.
Yeah. No, I didn't even see that at all, and I'm
No, I
kind
didn't
of
see that at all
surprised.
either, yeah, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, the announcers briefly mentioned it, but then it was kind of like an afterthought, and I thought that was kind of interesting too. Because if that would have been called, I don't know, that probably would have been a different fight. Because that whole second round, Poirier just got gassed from being on the bottom the whole time.
Yeah, the ref should have stepped in, he should have first said, okay, get your fingers out of the glove, get your fingers out of the glove. If he did it again, he would have stopped it, time. Listen, if you do that again, I'm taking a point.
Well, Dustin, yeah,
Fight on.
He should have been for sure able to pull out of that because he was fully standing and he was kind of at an angle. So all he needed to do is twist his hips and pull, and he would have been out.
I was even saying to you, just yank your fucking arm out of there.
So I pretty sure he got hooked.
Yeah,
Shit.
definitely.
Do you think Poirier left himself open at the end due to like fatigue, and that's why he jumped on his back? Because I kind of.
Well, I mean, he was on the bottom for the rest
Yeah,
of
he
the
was
second
for
round
sure
for
gassed.
3 minutes, getting ground and pound.
Yeah.
And then in the third round, having big old Charles Dubronx jump on you. You have to
Right.
carry his weight while he's trying to submit you. That's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and I mean Oliveira's a good fighter. I don't know. I don't know if he'd be. I think he might be able to beat Gaethje. After that, I don't really see too much competition for him.
Well, here's the thing. In those two title fights that Oliveira had against Chandler and Poirier, he got dropped in both of those.
Yeah.
He got knocked down. Gaethje's the most powerful guy in the division.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's lasting one punch from Gaethje.
Yeah.
Shit.
He hits like a fucking truck. 18-wheeler going 80 miles per hour, right contact you. That's what it feels like. I mean, I can't attest to it because I've never been hit by Gaethje, and I never want to. Unless if you give me $50 million, Gaethje. Let's do
50
it, bitch.
million. That's
50,000.
what- You want to do it for $1 million?
Yeah, I'd do it for $1 million.
Yeah, you do it
Sorry,
for-
Justin.
I'd do it for $1 million.
Let's do it, bitch.
50,000.
50,000? No.
50,000 plus medical bills, just in case.
No, 50,000. I need $1 million so it'll motivate me to get out of bed.
And medical bills.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 50,000 plus medical bills.
Oh,
A
please.
million plus medical.
At that point, I think you can cover the medical bills yourself.
What if that million gets taxed?
Well, it's not gonna get taxed that
Not
hard.
cash.
Then
Straight
you're only
cash.
if a million gets taxed,
Million
dude.
cash.
You're probably only getting like 400 grand of that.
All right, we're getting into finance now. Fuck that shit. Back to the fight. So, I would say, UFC 272 doesn't have a main event or a co-main event booked.
I saw they do have a undercard fight that they announced the other day. I think it's the only fight on there so far.
It was
Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
in MMA.
Oh my
Do you
God.
understand what would happen in MMA?
It'd be fun to watch, that's for sure.
No, and
Do you know?
It
No,
would be fun
it
to
would
watch.
Be,
it would be fun to.
no,
lead-
it'd be incredible to watch.
It'd be super
be.
That
fun
would
leading
be.
up to it, but it would
Yeah.
only last like 30 seconds.
It might only last
very
around.
long.
I agree. Yeah.
No, it would probably last only 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Jake Paul taking a leg kick?
Oh, dude.
Could you imagine Jake Paul wrestling?
That's fair. That's a good question.
Could you imagine?
There's no question to be had.
Well, that's a good question.
There's no question.
It would be interesting.
It's not a question.
You know what's really
It's
funny?
a fact.
Interesting.
Is the only time that one of the Paul brothers boxed like a legitimate fighter. Logan did sparring sessions with Paulo Costa, and he got knocked unconscious. It's on his YouTube channel too.
Probably, yeah. It makes
Badly,
sense.
and it was somebody who's Logan's size. Notice how these two brothers always fight guys who are smaller than them.
Yeah, what do you have to say about
Then
that?
you had the
Mm.
Logan decided
No
to
comment?
It's interesting.
It's interesting.
Logan decided to pick a bone with that
Nah, that's
drunk
true.
Brazilian, Paulo Costa, who likes to drink wine before fights.
That's
yeah.
the wine guy. We have mentioned him before.
Oh, I can't sleep. Wine I'm numb. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to beat Adesanya. And I'm going to prove I am the champion.
And non-PC again. I thought you were supposed to be the PC police.
Hey, that's
How's
Italian though. Can you really
That's
like?
Brazilian.
Oh wait, is he Brazilian? I thought he was Italian. Wait, who's the Italian guy?
Vittori.
Oh, Vittori. Didn't Vittori also? No, he didn't fight us on here, did he? Oh, he
Yeah, he
fought.
did.
Oh,
Yeah, do a
okay.
Vittori accent.
You've definitely done
You
a
lost
Vittori.
against Romero, you lost against Blachowicz, and you lost against me. I'm the fucking champion. You ain't. I'm not gonna be for long. You're taking everything. I'm your fucking nightmare. I'm your fucking nightmare. And I'm Italian, so I can do that all I want.
There you go.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's definitely how that works.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, it's like if you're bald and there's another bald guy, you guys are equal.
You guys are brothers for life.
Bald brothers, baby.
But we're closing out.
Wait, does that mean since you guys are both from the East Coast, you guys are like butt buddies or something?
We're not even from the same state.
Yeah, but
We are
it's
from the East Coast.
From the
Yeah.
East Coast?
It's like you guys
Same
are from the
thing.
Midwest. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like same thing.
so we're
yeah.
butt buddies. Yeah, wait. Wait a minute.
If there were two West Coast people, it'd be the same for them.
Yeah, then they'd be butt buddies.
Yeah, whatever. The UFC closes out their 2021 season this Saturday with a big fight in the heavyweight division. Derek the Black Beast Lewis versus Chris Dawkins. Going to be a top contender fight. The Black Beast makes his return after a loss. Whoop! For a bid for the heavyweight title.
That's the first of the podcast.
And he lost to
It's
Cyril
definitely not
Gane.
a first for the podcast.
Oh, really?
So it
On
should
this
be.
Does
table.
anybody want to get
fights.
something to like clean that up? It's like literally leaking towards you.
There was a little spillage.
Hey, use your hand or some shit, bro. Don't let it spill on
But
the floor,
anyway.
bro.
Oh my god. Anyway, Bet Records fans.
Don't use the white
It has
towel, you
been-
fucking donkey.
You're a towel.
Hold it.
Alright, here's a shower towel.
Don't use that. What are you doing, bro?
Dude, we don't even use that shower.
Bro, you're using like the fancy fucking towels.
That we don't even use.
Go get a fucking paper towel. My dude grabs the fucking decoration towels out of the bathroom. Not even the like the towels.
At least I got up to try to get something.
You're.
I did nothing. I did nothing.
Fucking ridiculous,
Yeah,
bro.
it's been a great year in combat sports. The UFC.
God fucking damn
It's
it,
been their
dude.
best year
Here,
to
let me
date
see
so
that.
far. And the future's looking very bright for them. We got some great fights to start off the year. Cyril Gane versus Francis Ngannou for the undisputed
I think something
UFC
else.
heavyweight title. And also a rematch, or a trilogy fight between Divinson Figueiredo and Brendan Moreno for the flyweight championship of the world. Don't want to miss it.
Go get it, do trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move
Peace.
it. I got that new whip.
Deuces.
Go get it, do trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it.